Hi guys, Jessica here. I'm going to do my favorite authors. DM friend 26 Dylan, my friend here on YouTube, just did this and I came up with my own list, which actually is longer than his. And I think this is a good way for, first of all, if you're new to my channel, you will get an idea of the books that I like to read. And also, as I talk about each author, I have like their the list of books that they've written open in front of me. So if I'm looking in weird places because I'm looking at my computer, and I want to make sure that I mention the books that I've enjoyed by them. So this is also going to be like book recommendations. So it might end up being quite long, but trust me, if you're looking for book recommendations or want to learn a little bit about the reading that I do, this is it. These are my favorite young adult fiction authors. There is one other author, but I do have adult fiction, a few favorites that I didn't mention in here, so I'm just mentioning that at the beginning. So we're going to start, they're not really in any particular order, but my first one is Kate Tiernan. She probably is one of my top, favorites. She wrote the Sweep series. If you haven't followed me on here, I have reviewed every single one of the books in the Sweep series, which is 15 books, and it talks about the Wiccan adventures of high school students and blood witches and such, and I just absolutely loved it. I also loved her Balefire series, which is a series of 4 books, and it comes in a bind-up that you can get, I believe, for like $10 or $11, and if you see that book at Barnes & Noble, pick it up, because it's amazing. And you don't have to read the Sweep series to read that series. And then also she's written Immortal Beloved and Darkness Falls. Immortal Beloved I've read before, and I'm rereading it. I have it in my to-be-read. I do have Darkness Falls that I just hauled, and also Eternally Yours is another book that I actually need to write that down. So as I do this, I'm going to be creating my list of books that I want. So this is going to help me out. Oh yeah, that would be nice if my pen worked. So anyways, I'll just leave that open. My next author is Cecily Van Zig. If you're not familiar with her, she wrote the Gossip Girl series, probably introduced me the most into young adult fiction. I read the entire Gossip Girl series, which I believe is 12 books, and then there's Gossip Girl Psycho Killer, which came out a couple years ago, which I read, and also the prequel, It Had to Be You. I also read the entire It Girl series, which is 10 books, and I also read the 4 Gossip Girl The Carlisle series, and I read Cum Laude, which is, I believe, an adult fiction book that she wrote. So I've literally read, let's see, 29 books by her. So she's definitely one of my favorite authors. Another one of my favorite authors is Nancy Holder. I haven't talked about her on my channel that much recently, but she actually wrote all the books associated with the tie-in books for Buffy the Vampire and such. That's not how I got into her. I never was into that, but she wrote Pretty Little Devils, which I reviewed on this channel, and she also wrote the Wicked series, which is a witch series as well. And there's 5 books, which is Wicked, Curse, Legacy, Spellbound, and Resurrection, and she wrote them with Debbie Vigil. And I also read Possessions, which is an amazing book as well. And Crusade is another series that she has. So I've read, I don't know why I feel like I need to say written. I've read a lot of her books. So if you're into hauntings or witches, definitely check her out. So another one of my favorites is Anna Gaberson. I've been talking about her Bright Young Things series lately. However, my first love with her was the Lux series, which was the Lux Rumors, Envy, and Splendor. And it was just a phenomenal series, and you definitely should check it out. I feel like it's a prerequisite for young adult fiction. And I just finished, Beautiful Days, which is the second book in the Bright Young Things series, which is a Flapper kind of inspired series, and I still have to read The Lucky Ones. My next favorite author, which is my only one on this list that's not young adult fiction, is Philippa Gregory. I really have loved reading historical fiction, and and I love kind of taking a break and reading that. I haven't done that in several years, but I have read The Other Boleyn Girl, which became a movie, The Queen's Fool. I've read The Constant Princess, The Boleyn Inheritance. I've read The Other Queen. I've read The White Queen. I haven't read The Red Queen yet. So I need to catch up on that series. I'm going to leave that open. But if you like historical fiction and you kind of want to understand that time a little bit better, definitely check out Philippa Gregory. So my next one is Elizabeth Chandler. Elizabeth Chandler wrote the Dark Secrets trilogy, and Kissed by an Angel is another bind-up she wrote. I have to catch up. She came out with a book this year, and I'm just like, I can't believe I didn't ever read it. She wrote Dark Secrets 1, 2, and A Back Door to Midnight, and also Evercrossed. And I loved all of her books. They're mysterious, and there's hauntings, and it's really exciting to read. My next author is Meg Cabot. She's probably up there. She's written so many books, it's insane. I never really got much into her Princess Diary series or her Mediator series, but I like to read. I read her Airhead series, I believe. I've read Jinx, which is a phenomenal young adult book. It's a little dark for her. I'm kind of surprised by it. I read, All American Girl? All American Girl, I read. Queen of Babel, I've read, I believe. I read Insatiable. I don't think I've read Overbite. I need to catch up on her books. I've read a lot of her books. I'm just trying to think. I'm looking on this list because it's really hard to read. Oh, and then she wrote that whole Heather Wells series, which is Size 12 is Not Fat and stuff. I don't think I read any of those books. I wasn't really interested in those, but she's a great author. So the next one, you guys are not going to be surprised, is L.J. Smith. At one time, I was really on a really good reading run with all the Vampire Diary books. I've read most of the Night World bind-ups. I've read the Vampire Diary series, of course, and I've read through, I believe I read the first 8 books. I still have to read Moonsong and Destiny Rising. And I've read all of the Forgetting Game series. I've read all of the Dark Vision series. I've read the Forbidden Game, Dark Visions, and I've also read all of the Stefan's diaries. She didn't write them, but they're connected with her stories. So I've read a lot by her. So definitely probably one of the top ones that I've read the most books from. And the last one is, of course, Sarah Shepard, who wrote the Pretty Little Liars series that I'm obsessed with. And I've read 12 books of the Pretty Little Liars. Crush comes out June 4th, and Deadly comes out December 3rd. I've read Pretty Little Liars, Pretty Little Secrets. I still have to read Allie's Pretty Little Lies. And I've read, I believe, the first 4 books in the Lion Game series. I need to read the 5th one that came out in February. So those are my top ones. But I have a few honorable mentions, so I'm going to mention those. First of all, my honorable mention is definitely Ellen Hopkins. I've read a lot of her books. I don't know. I guess she really should be on the favorites, but I don't feel as connected to her as I do to other authors. Rachel Kane, of course. I've read how many books of the Morganville Vampire Diaries? Morganville Vampires, I mean. If I read that many books, she definitely should be on my favorite authors. And Kate Bryan, I've read, 20 plus books of hers, maybe almost 20 of the Private and the Privileged series. So definitely check those out if you like mystery, scandal, blackmail, murder, and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like Gossip Girl, but a little bit more dark. So then I also have to say the last one is Rochelle Mead. Of course, I've read Vampire Academy, now I'm in the Bloodline series, and I do enjoy her. I just don't name her as a favorite because I like reading her books, but I'm not obsessed, I guess you could say. So that's my long list of favorite authors. Wow, I did it in less than 10 minutes. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I didn't bore you. And happy reading. And hello to my new subscribers. I'm 5 away from the giveaway. And I've added more books to it. So if you're not a subscriber and you're watching this, click the subscribe. You won't be sorry. And I'll talk to you later. Happy reading. Bye.